Just getting everything. Oh God. Okay, we're getting everything set up. There we go. Check, check. Checky, check. We got the microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Microphone check. 1, 2. All right. And we are going to go in and we're going to give it 25 laps with the Lamborghini we're ghost chasing. Getting in the gym, bruh. Getting in that gym. And you can see I've got yet another sniper. And like these people, they have no lives. They have no life. Oh, look. Was a second place in my local area. So I know I've got a sniper. I don't know who it is. There's always that one dude, bro. Always that one dude. So it's probably this guy. Probably that guy. Or it could be this guy too. Cybreed. And we'll find out. No life. So right here, I would say anybody who right now who's got more than 100 points, you shouldn't be here. So really, where the work for this is done is farming DR. The actual race, honestly, I'm going to tell you from somebody who has a lot more experience than you probably at this, is it doesn't matter how you perform in the race. What matters is what league you locked into and what your DR is. So if you want to be in GT1, get an ADR and you'll outpoint all these motherfuckers. All of them. And like that's something that people that are more experienced than me told me right off the bat. It's like, if you're dealing with Smurfs, just get an ADR. And I mean, it sounds like it's kind of difficult and this and that, but look, there's people in the top 100 in our region, in the top 50 in our region that have less points than these motherfuckers down here. So you see what I'm saying? If you don't want to deal with these pieces of shit down here, just get an ADR. And what that means is that DR is greater than everything. DR is greater than the race that I'm doing today. All I have to do is show up for the race. Get an ADR, show up for the race, and I've got more points than this guy right here. And I'm on the same leaderboard as GT1 drivers. So fuck all that shit down there. And we're just going to start practicing more and taking the weekend races as just like, yep, we're here. We're here and we showed up. That's it. So the weekend races for exhibition, these are nothing. These are really nothing. What matters is this right here. This right here, if you can get that to be an A or higher, you're on a whole nother level than all these garbage guys down here. Look at this. This guy's got 336 points in GT3. And so my best piece of advice that I can give you is if you get an ADR, you lock in GT1, and as an ADR, these are the kind of points you're going to get, and you're beating him. You know, this guy right here, he's an ADR. He's on the same list as the top people in our region. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys aren't even on the same list. You're like, this is the minor leagues. And if you want to play this little game in the minor leagues, 460 points. This dude has 460 points. He's first place in the minor leagues. All right? 400 and what? 60? 460? If he didn't do his same exploiting strategy, he'd be top 30 in our region. Period. And nobody's going to respect you as a GT2 driver in our region. Nobody. You don't matter. What matters is these guys right here, the top 100 prime beef in our region. That's it. This GT2 and this GT3, the reason why they have this is for people who can't get an ADR. And I think that it's a very long time coming. Polyphony Digital, you need to fucking fix this. As soon as you get ADR, you should get kicked out of this and go to GT1. Permanently. If you're able to get an ADR, like I shouldn't be in GT3. I got an ADR, I should be in GT1 forever. I did my time. And even as a B driver, look, there's B drivers in here. Even as a B driver, I'd be in the top 200 in my region. Just because I was an A driver once. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think you should be able to sandbag your way back out of GT1. Once your account goes to GT1, you should be stuck there. And that's it. And it doesn't matter what your DR is from that point forward. You earned your way into GT1. You should be stuck there. And this whole sandbagging your DR to get to GT2, shit's garbage, bro. That just allows people to bully beginning drivers, and it's garbage. And it's got to go away. If you're an A driver, you should get bullied by A+ in competition. That's how it should be. And you're still the top 300 in your region, so who cares? This, just by being in GT3, you might be the best GT3 driver, but you're a B driver with 336 points. So 336 points while you're picking on people. 336 points would put you at 50th place in GT2, like mid 40s place in GT2. And in GT1, 336 points, you'd still be the top 60. You'd still be on the final leaderboards in GT1, which is where the actual, this is where the actual honor is. GT1 is where the actual honor is, because you're doing what you're saying you're doing. GT2, if you're an A driver in GT2, you're a piece of shit. Garbage. Absolute garbage. I don't want to hang out with you. And Bs in GT3, bro, you're like the 12th graders that pick on the 8th graders. You're just garbage. You're garbage. You're absolutely garbage. And what's even worse is a C driver that acts like they're a C driver, which that's me. I know. I'm worse than garbage. And we're going to fix that. We're going to fix that in the very near future. We're just going to drive where we drive, and where we end up is where we end up. And that's that. So I've got an alarm set for 10:45. Y'all are garbage, man. Straight garbage. Straight trash. All right, we got to go back to the garage, and we got to put the right tires and get our oil change. Straight trash. Straight trash. A and B drivers in GT3, bro. Straight trash. And that should be flagged as unsportsmanlike conduct. Alright, so we could call this car Scorpion, but I think it's Havoc. I think this car is Havoc. We're driving the Lambo. We're driving the car that was treating us the best in practice. We're going to change our tires. I think it was soft, right? It was allowing soft. Alright, yep, we want soft. We're going to practice 25 laps. It's high time that Polyphony Digital actually did something for their community. Instead of just letting A drivers pick on GT3 drivers. Like, either just kill GT2 and GT3 League. Just kill it. In fact, I would recommend just kill it. because you're always going to have people that exploit. Whenever you give people options, you're going to have other people that are going to exploit. So take the option away. That'd be my whole thing is, you gave them the option, they fucking broke it, take it away. Then everybody will have to play where they belong. And they'll see that when everybody is in the same pool, they're like a top 200 in their region driver, where they should be. You know, people were complaining of, oh, I don't have the skill level. Well, the whole centerpiece of the game is raising your DR. That's it. If you're not raising your DR, if you're not always learning, you are in fact going to fall off the leaderboards. No matter which league you're racing in, if you're not skilling up your DR, you're going to fall off the leaderboards. If you're a C driver and you think that you're going to join GT3 League and be relevant, I can tell you from experience, you're not. Oh, we got a couple 911s. Yeah, that car's horrible. I hate it. It has something that's good about it, and I don't know what it is, and I don't like it. And it doesn't want to drive for me. It was punishing the shit out of me. And if I wanted to fucking walk around a basement in the dark with mouse traps snapping me everywhere, I'd just do that, you know, and it'd make a funny video. Driving that fucking Porsche, and the Beetle was kind of like that too. A lot of the Meta cars is like, they're designed for people that can adjust their steering sensitivity. I can't. So that car was punishing me all over the fucking place. And I don't know how to fix that. So, we need to fix that for sure. Alright, so right now is get some practice. We're chilling, we're chasing the ghost, but we're also getting everything set up the way that we need it to be. So we just don't have to think. And like, I've got replace car after leaving track off. It still replaces your car. Like, why have a setting if it doesn't do anything? You know, that's the musician in me, right? Don't add something to a song that makes the song worse. If you add something to a song and you listen to it objectively and it sounds worse, remove it. And that kind of, you know, when you add something to a game and it just doesn't even do anything, remove it. And I know that I'm a pretty solid B driver. I can be an A driver on some combos, but that's where I'm at. And, you know, I'm trying to improve, but the setup that I have and that I use motion steer with BR. I'm actually driving the car, so these skills are going to translate to real life. I see people playing GT all the time that go out in a real car, and they're fucking horrible at it. Absolutely horrible. Because bumper view, hood view, chase cam, that doesn't translate to real life driving. It's like bumper view maybe, but not really. Like, you get this claustrophobic feeling when you get into the cockpit of a car, and you're like, oh, this shit's for real. And then you're like, well, how do I see how close I am to the cone? Well, you don't. That's the whole point, is like, in a real car, you can't see how close you were to the cone. You just have to keep steering over until you start running them over. And then you're like, okay, well, that's what it looks like when I start running them over. And now you've learned something. Driving in a bumper cam, they've got like a line on the bottom of the screen that's like, I run it over there. And it's like, bro, that doesn't translate to real life. This translates to real life. So, if I'm actually a B driver here, I'm probably a pretty solid silver driver in real life. I'm like, the time trials will straight up tell you that. They tell me that all the time. I'm a solid silver driver, and that's where I'm at. And it's probably not getting any better. but that's because I'm driving realistically. I think that sim rigs, I think a DD Pro is more accurate than a real car is. Like, and all you guys who have sim rigs, go out and fucking jump into a real car and tell me how that feels. Especially like a 70s car. Go get into a 70s car and tell me how that shit feels. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't feel like a DD Pro. So there's a lot of things about sim racing that I try to keep it real. And VR, like, I'm really in a car right now. This is fucking with my head right now. I just went from a wooden chair in my basement to a fucking sitting in a Lamborghini. It's crazy. We're gonna try to get some pace here. We've got a high 131, if I remember, like just a 131, but I know we can do better than that. Like, we were just trying out the cars at that point. So we're putting in 25 laps. We're just chilling. And then we're gonna start driving with mediums on until my alarm goes off. We're slow today, bro. We are super slow today. So we gotta get in, just get locked in. We're picking up time, but we also have a penalty, so I don't think it'll count for my opt. That's why we're just doing 25 laps, seeing where we're gonna have the problems. That penalty was from exiting a little too wide on the T1. And what we're doing is we're focusing on going straight through the corners, if that makes sense. Like, braking late is not it. Use the tool for its intended purpose. And this is something that everybody has to wrap their head around, is the car is a tool for you to do a job. And everybody with the same car is going to hit a point where the car doesn't get any faster. And I would say that that's an average level of proficiency. And there's like no magic driver skill that's going to get you out of that. Driver skill is your ability to control the car. That's it. And so as you become confident with the car, you're going to get speed because you're using a tool with proficiency. And like, a lot of people think that braking later and this and that, that's going to get you faster. No, actually braking earlier gets you faster, because you start using the tool with proficiency and you start optimizing your tire wear. And there's a lot of things that go into that. And like, I've been top 200 in the world on a time trial before. Nissan 350Z time trial at Broad Bean. I was all over that shit, bro. Easy track, easy car. Using automatic. Easy day. And it's like, the more complex the track gets, the more you hit skill gap. And skill gap is a measurement of how well you can use the tool, which is the car. 100% control is the goal. No weird oversteer moments, no weird understeer moments created by the driver. That's where the skill is. Like, that was pretty good. I like that. That felt good. I got through it a little slow, but we're trying for 100% control. We're not trying for speed just yet. And once you start feeling how it feels when you are easing into the inputs. See, I was fighting it a little bit there. But look at now, I'm going purple because I'm controlling the car. It's crazy. Because it's a skill. Hands down, 100%, it's a skill. And you gotta learn it. And you gotta learn to use the car. That's the skill. Contrary to popular belief, you don't learn how to push the car harder until you learn how to drive the car. Oh my God. It looks like that Audi is pretty fast. And this should be my genre of track, but I've always had problems here because it's a battle.
This is much better.
What's that? What's much better? Let's see, here we go. Here we go. You talking about versus Microsoft Flight Simulator? Is this Mothman talking shit about the flight sim again?
Yes.
Little ribbon. Yeah, today, I don't know, man. I got out on the lawn this morning and I'm kind of faded. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna get in. We're gonna get going. But I think that I'm done with the Drunken Softball League. I've seen what I need to see here, and that's why I got out of there my first year. And we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get back into the minor leagues where I belong. And I'm gonna continually call out every motherfucker that don't belong in the lower leagues until I've got my A back, and I'm gonna hang on to my A. Oh my God, maybe I won't hang on to my A, but I want to get up into GT1 and stay there. That's my goal, and I think with VR I can absolutely do it. Because I might not be the fastest, but consistency is where you know, keep your name. Consistency. There are tons of NASCAR drivers that are still making a NASCAR paycheck, never got a first place. They show up, and you know, people make jokes about, oh, there's got to be somebody who doesn't win, you know, but they're still there. They still have a fan base, and every once in a while they'll get like a top 5 finish, and everybody's like, damn, didn't see that shit coming. That's me. Consistency, you know, somebody who's seen some shit and done some things, and we're just loving life, bro. Alright, we're starting to feel it now. We're starting to feel that shit. We should be hot lapping any second. I'd like to get down to a 130. Uh-oh, not like that we won't. Not like that we won't. Ideally, you want to just spike the car into the corner, and then it hops up the hill. And that saves a lot of time. Like, there's tricks that people do. Oh my God. There's tricks that people do. I might need a 3 with this car, but I think with a 3, it's just gonna make me feel safe and still do the same shit. So 1 or a 2 is usually good. 0, I definitely will spin out. That actually felt kind of fast on the exit. See, like, you can't make it bend an arc that it doesn't want to bend, I guess. So if you enter at the wrong angle, if you steer too much, those are all things that cause you to not be able to get around the corner. So Let's go. It's just a simple circular saw cutting wood. That's all we're doing. It's a skill, and the more you can detach from racing and get with the skill, the faster you're gonna get. Oh. Oh.
Cue the Top Gun music.
Yeah, right? Highway to the danger zone. Actually, what we need to do, we're in Austria, so we should be playing like Arnold Schwarzenegger's playlists, like Last Action Hero. Last Action Hero soundtrack would be a good one. Oh my, yeah. We were blue, and now we're red. And getting up over this hill is horrible for me. I've always had a problem with that left-hand hill there. Alright, we just gotta start flopping the car. Let's just start flopping it. Let's try to make it crash. Kill apexes. Oh god. Is it a penalty though? Is it a penalty? Yeah. Psh. Bitch. Bitch. And we lost 1/10 of a second getting a penalty. So trash. Right, red, blue, red, blue. We're monster trucking in the USA. Okay, we've got a 130.7 for our optimal, which our record isn't really too much slower than that. Ooh. Ooh. Row! Come on now. What are you doing, car? Why wouldn't you steer? Why were we not steering? Yeah, we're starting to pull the exits a lot harder. That was dumb. That's the shit that makes me lose time. And that really made me lose time, so that lap's toast. See, now we're hitting that point where the car is starting to become discombobulated. We just need to keep on it. 136.85, huh?
You remember that clip where you got stomped by Kato?
By Kato? By Kano? Yeah, me and Kano were fighting in one of the races for a little while. I think it was Kano.
Katao.
No, give me a
Dungeon.
second. Oh, you're talking about Kato in a dungeon? What? That was a long time ago, man. I haven't played with...
Anyways, the clip got 68k views on Instagram lol.
Damn! That's crazy. 68k! Holy shit. Yeah, I've got a couple clips right now that are blowing up here and there. Not that much though, like maybe 1,000 to 2,000. You know, but for somebody who's marketing themselves as a realtor, that's pretty good. Because like I'm looking for people that are looking to transact realty, you know. Like video gaming, I've came to the conclusion that video game is gonna pay me $0.25 a day. You know, I'd like to get $0.25 a minute. So advertising to a realty base, just enjoying my life, you know, is what I'm trying to do. It's what I'm doing, honestly. It's not what I'm trying to do. And the word trying needs to be deleted from my vocabulary because I'm done trying. I'm done trying, bro. Did you see that? I did the same exact thing my ghost did. Oh my god. That one little stumble right there is keeping me from the 130s. Let's go. But yeah, we're just gonna go to where we belong. So if I can get a BDR, which I can, we're gonna go there. If I can get a ADR, we're gonna go there. And what's funny is there's at least 3 to 5 people a race that are already A drivers anyways, no matter where you go. So why not just call it what it is and race against the people that are better and get the skills? You know what I'm saying? Because this main skill, like I'm so rusty, the main skill that I've totally forgotten is forward momentum. It's not just driving the car through the corners. It's knowing what the car will do and doing what the car needs to do to get through the corners the fastest. You know, the car is the tool. If you push wood into a saw too hard, you hit the limits of sharpness and engine, right? And the saw stalls out. And that's kind of the same thing here, is like if you hit the limits of traction, the car does that crazy shit. Now what I did was horrible. I think that little peel out was actually faster. But, you know, you gotta use the tool within its limitations. And that's I'm having problems with it. I'm having problems with it. Keep the tool within the limitations. But I think I'm working on my new schedule. The new schedule is definitely coming around. It's going to be 7 a.m. most days. I think Saturday I'm going to reel it back a little bit to like maybe 9 a.m., 8 or 9 a.m. And we're kind of working the schedule out. And then afternoons, you know, it's going to be every other day racing and flying. And then Wednesdays is going to be the wild card. And then the evening is going to be like hanging out with the boys or something. So that's what we're going to work on. Look at that. I just chilled out. And I don't even feel like that was fast. And that was my record lap for the day. God dang it. That peel out. I get the right line and then it peels out. Ah! So we just gotta get fully in the game. EA Sports, get in the game. And I got to get to the top of the hill like that. That was a good hill crest right there. That was an amazing hill crest. Which, because I said the word hill crest, I just remembered the name of the golf course that my brother used to work at when he was a teenager was Hillcrest Golf Course. I couldn't remember that when I got that golf game. I was like, man, my brother, he worked at a golf course. What was it? Hillcrest. And that's how the subliminal mind works. 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, my mind had been calculating on that for 2 weeks. I said Hillcrest, and then my mind said, hey, wait, that's the golf course your brother worked at. We've been working on that one for a little while. Ooh, we just ate that uphill. Oh, I braked so late. That means I got a brake going into the apex. And that actually felt alright. That was alright. See, if you take the correct line, you get out faster. If you don't take the correct line, you get out slow. And we want to get out fast. That's the whole name of the game. So like this late braking and getting into the corners weird, that's got to go away, man. We're working it out. We're working it out. That might actually be a hot lap right there. It is. Hell yeah. And now we take what we learned and we start making some record laps. We got a 130.5 opt, 130.6 record. That's a third of a second off my current record that I had when I started. But we got more. That was, we needed a straighter exit. We were kind of curving off the exit. I don't like that. I need straight exits. We need straight exits. I don't like curving out of the exit. That's why I'm thinking maybe the Audi might be the choice, because the Audi I think has a little better acceleration. Oh, that was horrible. That was awful. Wide exits, or wide through the apex, is time lost. You just got to think of it like every 5 feet off of the apex is another tenth of a second. And I mean, it's kind of an understatement. But if you think about it like that and just go for the apexes, repeatedly go for the apexes, stop fucking around. That's the name of the game, is Murder Apex. Look at that, another 130. We gained a level. We've gained a level, folks. That quadruple bounce was just horrible. But I figure 7 to 10 o'clock most days. Tuesdays will continue for the whole day. Every other day except Saturdays we'll start at 7. Saturdays are going to be a little later because I'm chilling. I'm chilling because the match doesn't start until 11. So, you know, if I jump on and blow my guns too early, you know, we're getting old. We're only good for maybe 3 hours. And the first hour-ish is warm-up. So, get on at like 9, just loosen up, get some time in, get some caffeine in, chill out, relax, take a chill pill. That gas was so late. Alright, so we had a little hot lap there. This is where the pits would probably tell me, yeah, you're starting to flounder a little, bud. You should probably take a hand break. Reflect on your laps. Yeah, that was all red. See, so now you know how old people work. We get in the zone for a minute, and then AutoZone kicks us out because we were fucking looking at the shelves too long. Get in the zone, AutoZone. You're out of here, you ain't buying shit. There goes my lap times. Oh, that could have been good, but we bogged second gear. And like when I watch the stream after playing in VR, I like look at it and I'm like, bro, that looks so flat. Playing without VR is like playing on a tablet now. It's not immersive at all. I played on, I think, Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? I played in non-VR and I was like, oh my god, this sucks. This sucks so bad, I hate it. Like I'm not sitting in a car, I'm sitting in my basement, you know? I'm not using the car, like I'm not actually using the car's gauges. I'm using whatever pops up on the screen. And like, this is what really driving is like. Like you don't know where everybody's at. You're just racing your best race. And if your best race won't do, you watch the replays and you watch the data and the telemetry and you figure it out. Once you're in the race, all you can do is race your best race, bro. Knowing where everybody else is a distraction from racing your best race. Looking around my basement and having a cat fucking with me is a distraction from racing my best race. And I think that's where VR has a distinct advantage, is like I'm in my own personal car. Look, there's a mountain over there. It's crazy. Mountains over there. Look at those valleys, man. It's amazing. The scenery in this game, like just driving and absorbing the scenery over the hill over there is amazing. And like the Red Bull, a lot of people, they just race the race and they don't even know where the Red Bull is. It's right there. Yeah, we're just chilling now. We're getting some scenery, stretching the hand a little bit. Oh God. Yeah, that lap was horrible. And it wasn't even that bad. That's the thing about this car, is if I can avoid wiping out, this car is fairly consistent across all things. It's an average car. It's an average car. It's got a great gearbox. It doesn't punish me relentlessly for mistakes, but you're going to hit a point where you kind of need to move up to a different car. I'm not at that point yet. I may never be to that point, you know? This is cool, man. I got all sorts of equipment up in the cockpit, and my goodness, it's pretty realistic. Why am I going back to that bad habit? All right, so I have a bad habit called testosterone gas. The apex comes up too slow, and I give it a little burp of gas. It unsettles the car, and then it ruins the corner. And I gotta stop that. Testosterone gas is the worst thing on the planet in my driving style. Just nice, smooth gas, smooth brakes, smooth steering. We're not racing. We're just chilling, bro. That's what race car driving is, chilling. The more hype you get, the slower you are. That feels like a double penalty. It certainly wasn't fast. Yeah, dang. Yeah, if you eat that corner, that's the worst too. That just kills all your momentum if you eat that little fucking curb there. Bye, momentum. Bye-bye. That whole straightaway gone. And like, you should go wherever you can steer. If the exit isn't pushing you wide, don't go wide. Like, you've already lost time if you're not pushing wide on exit. You might as well save by taking a shorter section of the track. Like here. I can go in here. I'm going in here, bro. Here. If I'm exiting and I'm not getting thrown off the track, I'm steering wherever it lets me steer. I'm steering wherever it lets me steer. Yeah, I haven't increased my optimal or anything else, so I think we hit our hot lap point. And we should probably put mediums on and start cutting laps and getting in the game. That's the other thing. We gotta we gotta see our tire wear. Before we forget. 10:03. All right. We're gonna do a race starting on softs with the bots, with the bolts. We're gonna start on softs and switch to mediums. Okay, can we get a middle finger of coins? Let's go. Right here, middle finger of coins. Let's go. There it is, middle finger of coins spotted. Huh. 100K. Blop. We'll take it. Okay. We're gonna do a race. Starting on softs. Starting on softs. Alright. I had to readjust the screen. I was putting a little crimp on my neck. Alright. Custom race. And I have to do regular AI because it wouldn't let me use all the cars because the new cars don't have Sophie models. Custom weather, Dawn 30 times. Let's go. And we should be softs. Remember, it started with the rain once. That was pretty cool, actually. I didn't mind that. Alright, we're going to start on softs. We're going to see how many laps we get. We're getting some good practice. Everything should be set the way that we need it to be set. Okay. Yeah, the car kind of was sideways, so we can't have that. Oh, God. Down. Look at this ambience. This is great. This is great. We're not going to have any of this in the race. The race is going to be dry, boring visuals. Absolutely fucking boring. Like, everybody wants to drive with equal conditions and clean, sunny day. And that's just not reality, bro. It's not reality. Out of the probably, I don't know, 50 autocrosses I've done, it was raining like 3 or 4 of those really hard. And they're like, we're gonna let you guys go out there, but if you leave the track for any reason, you're black flagged. If your tire touches the grass for any reason, you're black flagged for the day. They were like, yeah, we're probably not gonna count this for the championship. And it's just a day where people came to drive and we're gonna let them drive. But if your tire touches that grass for any reason, we're gonna radio it in and they're gonna talk to you at the end of your lap and you are black flagged for the day. Because there ain't no records today. We're just driving laps to maintain our championship points. And I wish that Gran Turismo would be a little bit harder on that. Because, like, people are obviously jumping across apexes and shit. That's not reality. You'd get black flagged so fast. Like here, leaving the course, right there, those bumpers are to catch you if you leave the course. They're not supposed to be driven on by every car all day, every day. So those should act like this. This is not realistic right here. Some tracks people are doing it, but in many cases, especially in cars that are really low to the ground, it's faster to just stay on the pavement. Because you're causing damage to the course and you're causing damage to your car by doing it any other way. Like this. And that's where I'm good at. I'm good at staying on the pavement. But that's just not how you win at sim racing, which is unfortunate. So it's a different learning set. Like I was taught that the cones are the cones. You can hit the cone as long as the cone stays in the square that it was put in. You don't even get a penalty. But usually if you hit a cone, it's going flying somewhere, and that's a 2-second penalty. And a 2-second penalty in a 40-second lap is pretty detrimental. All right. There's guys that make a living, though, setting lap times, running over the corners of the cones. I braked so late there, which makes me brake extra. Like, we are not getting places here. Nothing yet. This is good ambience right here. I like this. I actually enjoy the practice more than the race. And what I need to do is I need to do a mental shift and change my thought process over to DR is the number one thing, and the actual competition is the parade. The actual competition is the parade where you show off that you got DR. That's it. So I have to transition to where I have a time slot for dailies. And this is where it gets very time consuming. Is, you know, I got to do my research and development so I don't lose DR. That's where the alt account comes in. And then once I know I have a good farming method, and I should know on Monday if I have a good farming method. And the Mortal Kombat bots really aren't it. I've got to actually drive the cars. And that's why I quit doing the Mortal Kombat bots. However, I can update the liveries on the evenings when I'm chilling, doing whatever. We can do a non-VR stream and just update liveries. And that way I got names for the cars instead of Toyota. That's so boring and dry. It's cooler when the Toyota is Sindel. So, and I went kind of overboard on some of the liveries, but a lot of the liveries I should just kind of keep them looking like ninja liveries, honestly, and just put the Mortal Kombat symbol on it and the name of the driver. And, you know, it's a work in progress. So when it comes around, Group 2 and Group 1, I'll work on the cars a little bit here and there. Group 4 and Group 3 are mostly done. There's a couple latecomers, and I think Sinestro is going to go into the Group 2s, because Sinestro is Green Lantern's nemesis, and Green Lantern is in Group 2. I'm just trying to see how many laps I get. We have to use softs and mediums, so we're getting a lap count on the softs in this run, and then we'll run out the end of the race on mediums. That way we get used to the mediums. We're going to quali with softs, and then we're going to start on mediums and run the race. We'll figure out all the math as we get there. Right now we're just trying to work on our lap times on softs in the race, which 131, 132 isn't going to be bad. I've never been good at hot lapping, so that's never really been my thing. My thing has been consistent race. If I can get a consistent race and somebody else can't, I win. If I screw myself twice, I'm usually still top 5 or 6. Because I'm consistent enough. I just win by making less mistakes. When you get up into A bracket, people don't make mistakes anymore. So that's how I know that I'm just not ready for that yet. It's a consistency game. Too much repetition bores the fuck out of me. So I gotta get over that if I want to be good at race car driving. Because you're literally running in circles. So I've gotta just learn to sit, be chill, and cut laps. Music helped a lot, and VR, like the music in the game is so played out for me. Like I streamed straight off a PlayStation for quite a while before I got my computer set up. But on GT, I got the computer set up like within a year, and ever since that, I kind of turned music off and I was doing music from the PC. Before that, I found a way to inject music into my stream on the PlayStation by using my headset. And that's how I was injecting music before I got my PC set up for streaming. But I mean, really, PS5 is good enough to stream from itself at 720p 60. And I don't know how to describe it, but whenever you add other hardware to a setup, it kind of makes it feel a little janky. I don't know. When there's too much compression loss and too much I don't know what you call it, encoding, when you have to encode it over and over and over, and like, so when I stream to the PC, it's going into the capture card, right? So the PlayStation is encoding the video, goes into the capture card encodes it again, you know, then the PC has to do its thing, and then the streaming software encodes it again, and then Twitch does another thing to it again. And I can tell you, just looking at my stream, when I stream straight off the PlayStation, there's something about it. Yeah, you get a little compression loss here and there, but I don't know. It just seems like everything's a unit. You know, it seems like everything's put together a little more solid. That's just how I feel about it. But, you know, there's some games that you can stream on a streaming setup and they look phenomenal, like Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think looks phenomenal using the computer to stream through. And, you know, Destiny looks pretty fucking phenomenal, where, you know, streaming it straight off a PS5, if you do 1080p 60, you're gonna hit that compression loss pretty hard, so you gotta get back on the 720p 60. And not only that, Twitch is starting to take away, like, they added these options so that streamers can multicast their broadcast. That way Twitch doesn't have to. So what does that mean? That means Twitch is taking away the multicast slots. And once the multicast slots are gone, a lot of people are trying to stream in 1440p, and you probably shouldn't be doing that, because you're forcing your viewers to watch in 1440p. And I don't think cell phone technology has the bandwidth to be streaming, you know, 40 megs. I don't even think cellular technology has the bandwidth to stream, you know, 1440, 2K, 4K, none of that. So even 1080p 60 for a lot of people on CellNet are going to have a problem. So that being said, you should probably stream 720p 60 until you have people watching you. You know? It's a never-ending battle. And like, I made affiliate by streaming 720p 60. I used to stream 540 on PlayStation 4. Like, I did 4 streams, or however many settings there were. I did a stream for about 5 to 10 minutes on each setting, and I went to YouTube and I watched the video, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look the way I want it to look. That doesn't look the way I want it to look. And 1080p 60 and 720p 60 were both just compression loss out the ass. They looked horrible. And I'm like, so, you know, on paper, it says I'm streaming 1080p 60, but I'm lucky if I'm even getting 320p, because the compression loss just looks like big gray blobs all over the screen. It looks like shit. So a lot of people never go through the learning process of how to use their hardware. And so doing that, I was like, yeah, I'm not really gonna do that. Like, I'd rather have a slightly fuzzy image all the time than have an extremely fuzzy image randomly and be disconnecting my stream and crashing my internet. You know? Because that's what happens when you exceed your internet. And by your internet, I mean PlayStation Network. PlayStation Network is absolutely garbage. Okay, we're trying to catch these guys, and this is not happening. Those guys are gone, bro. Absolutely gone. I think I barely beat him in the race that I did on Thursday, and I beat him by putting hards on as soon as the, right off the bat, and the track was wet. They started on intermediates, and then they switched to whatever, and they almost caught me at the end. So sometimes we just have to accept that a combo isn't good for us too. So this might be that combo. Like, we've gotten a mid 130s at best. We're still 3.5 seconds off world champions on a very short lap. So we'll get in, we'll get our race, and we'll just see how it goes. That's all we can do, man. But they just drove off on me, and I'm on softs, and they're not. So we're not expecting we're going to do very good here. Maybe that's just the computer fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? I pulled a lap time that they didn't like, and now they're fucking sticking me to it. I mean, really, the trick to race car driving is taking all those sharp corners and rounding them off. Think of it like you're working a file, and you're filing that sharp corner into a much more round radius with your skill of controlling the car, which is your file. Like that felt fast as fuck right there. But that's gonna make it so that I come into that faster, and now I gotta, do something there. And until you work out the previous corner, working on later corners is a waste of time, because you're gonna be hitting them completely differently once you work out the previous corners. So as people get faster, they struggle, because it changes everything. When you change an early corner, so they've always recommended that you work on the early corners first, and then once you have the early corner fairly consistent, then you work your way through it. And that's how CXP works. That's how a lot of the license tests are, is you're working on early corners first, and then you work your way through the rest of the lap, and then it puts the whole lap together. And if you're having problems with a section, you need to go back to that section and practice it. So me, I'm practicing whole laps, which is kind of not the great way to practice. Once I start getting in the swing of using my alt, I'm going to be jumping on my alt Mondays, and I'm probably just gonna drive through as many cars as I can get through before 10 o'clock-ish. Or maybe Monday will be the late lunch. I don't know what we're gonna work on. We're still kind of working a schedule out, but I need to find a schedule where I succeed at everything. Because not succeeding at one thing affects everything else. So I need something where my driving's good. I like this part of my life, I need something where, the flying, I get out and I explore. Because that's practice for actually getting out and exploring. I need to get out. I need to get my face over lunchtime every day somewhere where people start to recognize me and see me around. And what's this guy doing where he can afford to just chill? People get that curiosity going, and that's how I'm going to make money. And furthermore, that's how I might get hires for the company where they make money and I make money. Because maybe some people aren't able to buy a house, but they're a server at a restaurant somewhere making fucking $10 tips. You can make a $10,000 tip in real estate. And once I get my referral business going, they're going to be working, and I'm going to be finding new clients, just like I've been doing. And it's all work. It's just what kind of work do you want to do? And I'd rather sit at a restaurant having a nice fucking afternoon, meeting people that are going to give me money, than sitting on the phone randomly calling people who are going to treat me like absolute trash 99% of the time, and you're going to find one person here and there that might make you 20K. Like, I need to find like 365 persons that are going to make me 5K. You know? That's how I feel about it, and that's what we need to be doing. Alright, so we're kind of toasty on these tires. I think it's about a good half race. I won't be able to make much more than that. You know, and we're trying to baby the tires a little bit just to see how far we can get. But I would say 12, 13 laps is about all we're going to get out of softs. After that, it's going to be a nightmare. So, that being said, we'll probably go 13, the end of lap 13 at the earliest. Because fighting with other people is going to get that even worse. Pushing the brakes to the rear is going to get that even worse. That rear tire is what's really fucking me up. And it's this turn right here that's doing it. And so that turn is going to kill me in race if my rear tire goes flat. And this too. This section right here is where I'm ripping that rear. But I also got the rear left going too, and that's the whole rest of the track. So, and I could probably curtail that wear a little bit by turning traction control up, but then the car gets noticeably slower. We don't want to do that either. So, I mean, we're still able to drive. I can't really feel the tires yet, so we might be able to pit at lap 12, but I'm kind of looking at pit 13. Pit 13, call it a day. Oh my god, bro. More drama, please. Testosterone gas there, still getting me. You gotta just let it ride out, bro. See that? Too much gas. You gotta kind of ease into it. Just ease into it. Ease into it. And it's been a while since I've gone through any of the license tests or anything. And it might be, you know, I need to make a marathon out of that someday. I don't know if we're lapping somebody or if we're actually catching people. In those little micro movements, yeah, good luck with that with controller, where it feels like you have a brick for a steering wheel. When shit goes bad with controller, you're just done for. Like, that's why I like motion steers. I can do these little micro movements, and the game responds to those. Like with motion steer, where a controller, I played controller for all of sport. I tried wheel and I was like, it's just such a complicated setup, it doesn't make me want to play the game. You know? And then when shit goes bad, you get something stuck under your gas pedal or whatever, you have like 3 races that you're like, what the fuck happened? You know? Why am I so slow? And then you see your brake pedal is like calibrated wrong or something. You have to unplug it and reset it. Random disconnects. Like, there were just so many things with wheel that I fucking hate, bro. I hate. And honestly, if you're planning on playing 100% PlayStation and you want the most compatibility, why would you not use a wheel that has a PlayStation logo on it? You know? Like, I'm sorry. I have a Sony TV, and my Sony TV with my PlayStation looks fucking amazing. It's the best looking monitor out of all of them. The latency is total trash, but with a PS5 and that latency, it's still better latency than a PS4 on a better monitor with lower latency was. So I'm still better than where I was with a PS4 on a 4K monitor for latency. And I learned how to play on a PS4 with a 4K monitor. So when the latency gets too low, the game gives me a headache. When the latency gets too high, the game also gives me a super headache. So there's a sweet spot. Okay, we are going to have to go in for tires at some point. I'm starting to feel it. And it's better to go in before you have a major fuck up, because they happen. They might be going in too. You just never know. Oh, we're going to be driving into the sunset now. Look at that mist. Everything is 3 dimensions in VR, including the atmosphere. The atmosphere has 3 dimensions to it. So, like, look at the mountains off in the distance over there, and, you know, wherever else. There's a dimensionality to it that is great in VR. And, like, I wouldn't switch this for anything. Motion steer in VR is, I'm gonna die on this hill. And I don't care. I don't care if I'm the fastest in the world. I think that time passed for me 30 years ago, bro. Like when I was fresh out of high school, brother, I was living in a whole different dimension reflection-wise, or reflex-wise. Whole different dimension of reflexes when I was 20. And I know it, and I accept it. Now we're just driving based on 1,000% experience. Alright, we're gonna have to pit. So, what are we doing here? We do have to practice this. We do have to practice this at least once. Alright, and we'll put the mediums on. Don't refuel. Fuel ain't gonna be a problem. It's 10:32, so we got time. Remember that the graphics reset when you're in the pits, so that's gonna fuck me up. In the race, it doesn't matter how it resets when you're in the pits, but when you come out, you have to be aware that it is going to reset, and you have to get to the reset position. Alright, there we go. So how are we doing? Yeah, the other 2 guys, they're gone. We could possibly get like 15 laps, depending on the temperature and everything else, but I'm gonna go safe. And I'm going to do mediums and probably 13 laps.
But do you have to get to the reset position?
You do. Absolutely, Mothman. You got to get to the reset position. But I mean, look at all these atmosphere effects. Like, my goodness, man. And I think if I ever do a NASCAR series again, I'm going to do either a quarter race or a half race. Because 15 minutes is kind of short. 15 minutes was kind of short. So I think a quarter race or a half race would feel a lot more realistic. and start to show people what they're actually going through in NASCAR, a 2-hour race would be spot on. 2 hours, 1 times fuel, 1 times, but I don't think anybody's trying to play 2 hours of NASCAR, you know? But, you know, the best you can do is start the series and see if anybody shows. And I'm not trying to spend 2 hours by myself for something that doesn't happen. So I figured 15 minutes. If anybody bites, you know, we'll start doing 30 minutes. If people are starting to show up regularly and we're getting bored with the track for an hour or two, we'll start doing like the half race or the full race. And like no flags, no penalties. So there's going to be some tracks that are completely different. Like Bathurst. Mount Panorama is going to be totally different with no penalties. And there's going to be no penalties. So it's car damage. If somebody damages your car, yeah, you can be pissed as fuck at them, but you're going to have to go pit if you want to race a fixed car, you know, and you're going to have to figure it out. And with the 15-minute race, because the tires are wearing so fast, you're going in at some point anyways, so you just run it. Just run it broken until you need tires or fuel. So that's what I might do is, somebody spun out. I saw the headlights. Somebody spun out. I think he spun out because I'm catching him again. But yeah, our best lap under pace. I don't have pace. My best lap race pace is probably a 1:31.5. That's what I'll probably get for my best lap. Well, 1:32 is what it's saying. And I mean, a 1:32 safe race, if somebody screws up and over the course of 25 laps, you know these guys are going to be trying a hot lap and they're going to screw up. And when you screw up, I'm right there. Too soon, Junior. Old guys always win the race with consistency. And now it would help if I had a little bit of pace with consistency, but I just don't. I don't. I'm pretty new at VR. Motion steer is very good actually in VR because I can see what my hands are doing in the game. So I'm literally using the steering wheel in the game to make decisions. And when the steering wheel in the game gets crazy, I fucked up. And I know it. I fucked up. So knowing that, you know, it's a learning process. It's a lot different than playing chase cam with a joystick. And that's where typically I do the best, is chase cam with a joystick. I'm pretty good with chase cam and a joystick. But I'm not trying to play a racing game that way. Maybe what I should do is, you know, have one account be a chase cam and have the other account be VR, you know, and just see which one I'm better at. But I know that I'm better with chase cam. And I know all the drivers. I had a list of them that were using chase cam, and there are world champion drivers using chase cam. So it is absolutely able to be done. I don't think I've seen any world drivers that got there with VR. Because it's too real. And so you start cutting realistic lap times. You know, if you look up online, what are the lap times for Red Bull Ring in a Group 3 car in real life, you're going to see that they're exceeding the records by like 5 seconds. So I'm pulling realistic times. The top times in Gran Turismo 7 are not pulling realistic times. Because they're not doing things that realistic drivers would do. All right, we got 2 laps. I feel like the game's giving it to me, honestly. But their tires might be worn. You just never know. Maybe they had to pit. Now they've got cold tires. Who knows? I don't know. But we're catching them. We got 3.5 laps left. It's time to go. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. And I don't know, once we finish, maybe we should try the NASCAR and pick whatever, have it be like a post Saturday race thing. Today, however, I have to clean house. I have the daughter coming over tomorrow. We're going to be working on a boat. We're going to be working on a boat. So we'll be flying early in the morning like we normally do. And when the daughter shows up with the boat, we're going to be taking a look at that, seeing what's going on. She's having boat problems. And it's either compression, spark, or fuel, in that order. That's how you troubleshoot it. So you pull the spark plug, check the compression, put the spark plug back in, put a spark tester on it, pull it over some more. Is it getting spark? Yes? Okay. Well, now it's either fuel or spark timing. But if you don't have spark, it's not worth troubleshooting fuel. It's not even worth it. Like, that's how you build the engine castle, is compression. If it doesn't move air, you're wasting your time checking for spark. In fact, you could create a bomb by having spark and checking for spark. Don't do that. Check compression first, spark, and then fuel. And if you have all of those things, and fuel, if it'll run off ether and it won't run off the carburetor, you have a fuel problem. That's a no-brainer. But a lot of people just don't figure that shit out like that. So if you spray the ether into the air filter and it runs, when the ether is gone, it doesn't run anymore, you have a fuel problem. It's crazy. And you could save yourself a lot of work by just having a can of ether. A lot of experienced mechanics, they'll just go straight for the ether first. Which, if it runs on ether, that's what it is. Save you pulling the plug and doing all that stupid shit. But I like going from the beginning to the end. Oh yeah. This feels like a good race, man. Good race. Oh yeah. He might be struggling with fuel or tire wear, because he's way back there now. Oh yeah, this is over, bro. I feel good about that. That was good. That was good practice. We got good practice. We're gonna do 13 laps on mediums. And I'd like to do less laps if I can, and I know I can, so if I'm in a group and it's around lap 10 or later, I'm pitting to get out of the group. Because I think it's going to be one of those races again. It's always going to be one of those races. The more you distance yourself from the group, the better it is. In a race like this, especially. Like Laguna Seca was kind of a battle race too. And I was like, bro, I pitted lap fucking 1. I'm like, nope, I'm out. And then I got stuck in traffic a little bit, but then everybody as they pitted fell off, and I was able to scoop up a 6 because somebody ran out of tires at the end. And if I hadn't screwed myself twice, I could have easily been podium yet again. That was all on me. It was all my bad. I can blame no one but myself. I screwed up. I screwed up a couple corners majorly. That one where I went airborne, like, bro, I learned something that day is when you're drafting somebody and you hit a bump, you go airborne in some cars, and then you wonder why it won't do anything. Well, it's not going to do anything if your tires aren't on the ground. So I've had a good hour and a half to learn how to control testosterone gas. That was my mission today. Just to give it a little gas and then kind of give it the rest. Easy breezy. And look, my time actually went down with mediums. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Okay. We are going to take a head break. There's my alarm. Right on time. We're going to stretch for a minute. Doot, 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 doot. All right, we're going to get in here and get queued in. Enter. 11. Select. Go. Go. All right, and I'll be right back. Ugh. Do 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 do.
Alright, So that's what happened. So, that's killing me, bro. He wiped me out, and then he had to pit. He wasn't even in contention for the race. What a fucktard, dude. Right here. See that? Dovborn, you've just earned yourself a death sentence. Like, I don't think you realize the depths of how I remember shit. Like, I'm gonna see you 4 months down the road, and you're gonna have a target on your head, and you're not even gonna know. You're not even gonna remember it because your dumbass hit at lap fucking 18, bro. Like, bro, I can't even blame that dude, but seriously, drive better. Bro, I wasn't even on the fast sec. Like, look. Okay, I did do a weird jiggle do. That might have been on my stuff. But still. You motherfuckers, bro. Fucking clown. Fucking clown. And look, here's what he saw. He was probably playing in behind you. He sees me zoom up behind him. Like, look. You already... Bro, you had all that track. You had all that fucking track over there. Like, look, I came up behind you. I had way more momentum than you. You had all that track. Now, I'm gonna literally... Here. Just to make sure we know what's going on. Here we go. Alright. If that motherfucker's steers over at me, which, I mean, I can't blame him. I was passing him like the fucking wind. Alright? You could have just stayed over there and raced, but no. No. That's dirty, bitch. And I want to see where you get a penalty. Because he did something. Fucking clown. He did something where he lost time. Because he was in second place. What tires is he on? He's on softs. Yep. So what happened, dude? Oh, his tires ran out. That's what happened. So he fucked himself. Fucking clown. Here's your 15 minutes of fame, dickhead. Dover Barn. Every time I see Dover Barn is going to the back. The back. The deep back. The way back. Like, bro, you're not even on the same fucking planet with me as far as lap times. What the fuck is wrong with you? Fuck out of here. Alright, that's enough fame for you, dickhead. We'll make a clip of you getting fucking massacred the next time I see you. We're gonna waste one whole race of DR to come fucking annihilate you. Personal mission. Dover Barn. Every time somebody has a D name that ends in Born, I'm gonna fucking annihilate them. And people are gonna be like, man, he's usually a nice driver. Well, I don't know what you did. Just had the wrong name. Bro, you just picked the wrong name. Anyways. We got a top 6 anyways from a very poor interaction with another player. It was nowhere near the same skill level. Like, bro, you have to accept if you're making an average 132 lap time on softs and not even that possibly you should just move out of the way. That's all I'm saying. Just move the fuck out of the way. It's that easy. Put your ego aside. Realize that I was fucking passing you like the turd that you are. And get the fuck out the way. Alright. We're going to call that. And we're going to work on our DR. And we're just going to get the fuck away from all these dickheads. Because they're either underskilled, egotistical drivers, which I would know because it takes one to know one, or they're overskilled smurfs. And so I'd rather get to an area where I don't have the underskilled, egotistical drivers anymore because I've outskilled them. And not only that, but I get more points and I get onto this. See what I'm saying? If I work on my DR, it's not hard to get to the top. Because, like, if I had, like, I'm going to have 69 plus 29 is 98. 98 points in GT1. Let's see where we're at. 98 points in GT1. And mind you, I would have way more than 98 points because A drivers get more points for losing their ass in last place than I get for first place right now. So if I had 100 points, let's scroll through. If I had 100 points, I would be in, obviously I'd be so far in last place, it's not even funny. But I would be right, 98 points. I have the points of 234th place in our region, which is North America, Canada, South America, Mexico, all of it. All of the Americas are included in this ranking. I would be 234th place in our region, which is better than where I'm at right now. Because GT3 is the fucking drunken softball league, dude. There's nothing wrong with drunken softball, but I'm just saying, if you take yourself even halfway seriously, get the fuck out of there, bro. Get the fuck out of there. You know, I'm trying to go on this crusade of, if you're not a C driver, you shouldn't be here. Well, the game says, and I just got to get over it, the game says that you must be a C driver to enter. Those are the rules. And so these guys, I promise you that these guys are all bureaucratic pieces of shit. Because they're finding every loophole to get first place in the Drunken Softball League. And we're just going to let them sit there. You have to realize at some point that the spoils for your effort are not worth it. And that's why I'm calling you a retard. And same thing with GT2. The spoils for your effort are not worth it. And that's why I'm calling you a retard. If you had 469 points in GT1, you would be 30th place in our region. Your first place in the minor league doesn't mean shit compared to 30th place above everybody. So this 30th place here in GT1 is more impressive than your first place in GT2. I'll die on that hill. Like, I think they should take GT2 and delete it. I think they should take GT3 and delete it. And then everybody races here. And if you don't want to be 100th place, go away. Not everybody gets first place every day. That's just how it is. This season, it's Cyrus's season. Get fucked. Ain't nobody competing with him. And anybody who skipped a race, you might be able to come back. But if you've skipped 2 races, Cyrus has already won you against you. So everybody back here, all these zeros, you're out. You have no shot at first place. And any driver that I know, if they don't have a shot at first place, they're not going to race. That's just how drivers are. Me, I'm happy with the podium. I'm happy with anything that doesn't lose me DR, honestly. So if I'm in the top 8, I'm good, man. I'm good. I should have had a first place that last race. I should have easily had a first place. I was on pace for first place. I was in 3rd, and somebody wiped me out. If he hadn't have wiped me out, I was looking at 1st and 2nd place. They were right fucking there. And some dude who hadn't even pitted yet. That's what I hate about that. When people pit late, bro. He pitted so late. Softs first is not the strategy. And he was fighting for 3rd place that he in fact wasn't going to get anyways because he had to pit and he had to put mediums on. Like he wasn't even in contention for anything. He was just there and got mad that he turned into me. It's like, bro, well, like if I hit him early in the turn, then I fucking hit him. But if I hit him late in the turn, that's a lack of awareness, dude. Like you had all that space over there and you chose to turn left twice. One time you blamed it on me, and the second time you said, oh, I'm vindicating myself because that bad man hit me. No, bro. You steered into me twice. And that's why Doverborn is going to be getting annihilated every time I see him from here on forward. He's been added to the list. All right, so DRSR not hurting too bad. We did all right. We did what we could, given the competition's sportsmanship. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to figure out what we're going to do later today after we get some house cleaning done. So I will be back on at a later point in time. And I'm going to adjust my schedule for 9 o'clock on Saturdays. So we'll get on a little bit later on Saturdays. All right, take care.